Hi all, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and as you can see, I've been a little busy. Yeah, we're gonna, now that we've gotten the new landing pad finished, we'll go over what's going on, what the plans are, and what changes have been made. But first, we have to get started, so let's go. So happy Monday, everybody. Hope we had a fantastic weekend and that the week is shaping up for something entertaining. So yeah. All right, so we have been a wee bit busy, just a little bit. Let me show you what we've got going on here. Gonna turn that off. This bloody floating bug again. All right. So yeah. Basically, we've made a few changes to the hangar, as you can probably tell already, but we have been busy mining up a bunch of resources. I still have not headed over to get gravel. I do need to pick some gravel up so that we can start looking for uranium. That way we can make real reactors and solve some of our power problems. So what we've been doing is I've been running the hydrogen engine both on the miner here as well as the engine on the back of the building to keep our power supply up because, well, we're running out of power. And I'll show you why here in a second. Just want to show you exactly what we've been pulling in. Looks like I need to get some more platinum and some more gold. So gold and silver are the ones, probably cobalt too. So what we've done, are you gonna let me walk around? There we go. So yeah, I've been doing so much mining and going underground that I'm starting to get the floating bug. Basically the game is not sure where I am, which means I have to exit all the way out and come back in, which is fine. I don't mind doing it. And I probably will here in a moment because, well, you know, the bug issues are what they are. Okay, so what we've done is we now have a exit onto the side over here where we can go into an airlock, obviously, and then that leads over here to our new landing pad. And what I've done with the landing pad is I've actually put in 3 connectors down the center line because the idea is that anything that's docking, it's going to be docking, you know, basically, what is that, north to south. Well, facing south, so south to north, I guess, or north to south, whichever. But that's the general idea. So what we'll have is basically the ability to put connectors pretty much where we need them on vehicles, and depending on the vehicle's purpose, you know, we'll be able to move it around if we need to. So it just gives us options. Now, one of the things that I've done over here is I've gone ahead and put in a merge block and obviously elevated that with a second merge block on top of it because this gives us a platform to build from. You need to go away. Let's see. We want full block. There we go. All right, so what that does is basically we'll be able to build whatever we want. Turn off the merge block, separate the vehicle from the base, grind this stuff down, and you know, grind the merge block down, obviously, rebuild the merge block, and we'll be able to build from it again. And what this allows us to do is to have a stable platform for building. Normally I do the landing gear method because, well, just the way I've always done it. So a couple of people have pointed out, you know, using merge blocks. I have used merge blocks to build before, but it's not a technique that I generally use on the channel, and I never really thought about why. So yeah, so we're going to be doing that, a little bit of ship building today, but I do need to get some more parts manufactured. I'm running out of everything, even after let me show you. Even after manufacturing a bunch of stuff, I am starting to run a little bit low. I need more power cells. I'm going to need a whole lot more solar cells. One of the things that I want to do is bring a solar farm online, and I'll probably do like a 16 or a 24 grid or a 24 panel solar farm. And I'm thinking we're going to probably do solar farm. I don't know, actually. I might run solar farm over here. I haven't decided yet. Maybe add it on this side so that we have all of our power production on one side. We'll run some conduit out, or some conveyors out here, so that we can mount a couple of cannons to help protect everything. Yeah, maybe that might work. Alright, so one of the other changes I've made is I've gone ahead and added in the framework for 2 more refineries, and we've gone ahead and built 4 more large assemblers that are upgraded with speed modules. I've only put in 3 speed modules on each one, mainly because of the fact that the building them down here is a little bit difficult, so I'm going to have to do that. I'll probably do that off camera. But wanted to show you what we have so far. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and get the refineries built up. I'm going to restart the game so I can get around the little floating issue, hopefully. And yeah, okay, so let me get the refineries welded up. We'll get the game restarted, and we will be right back. And we're back. So I've gone ahead and restarted it so I can actually jump and land on structures now without floating away. Alright, so make sure I actually have, yes I do, okay. I want to make sure I actually had steel plates. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to build a vehicle for asteroid mining. Because while, yes, I am able to get resources off the planet, it's not been as efficient, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. In order to get the resources I have so far, I've spent, I don't know, probably about 4 hours today just doing a little bit of mining on top of all the mining and everything that I do in between the normal recording. So yeah, we're gonna work on that a little bit. Now I'm kind of curious. You know what? Try. Just wanna check and see if this will allow us to fly in an atmosphere. Because at 25% gravity, I think the ions will be able to work. If not, you know what? No, we're not even gonna risk it. That's a lot of materials if we happen to blow things up. All right, so I want something big enough that I can walk around in, because it needs to be. Well, I guess it doesn't really need to be. I guess if all we're doing is heading out to grab resources and coming back, we're not using it as any type of mobile base. So I guess I could put just a regular cockpit on it. Do some of the stuff off of here. You are small only, you are large. Or I could build a custom cockpit. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring this back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's not going to be this long. I'm just basically building out some scale or some, you know, basically a scale so I can tell how large that's going to need to be. And we're going to say you're going to be a conveyor because we're going to have a bit. Do I want to do that? Maybe. Because what I'm thinking is, are we going to be able to get... And then we have the cockpit in the middle there. So this is if we go with a utility style ship design. Are we going to be able... You know what, let's do this really quick. Because what I want to do is I want to take this block out, put that in. Where are you? Alright. And then this is going to feed back into the rest of the ship. Alright. And make sure we did everything correctly. It didn't fall apart. Okay, that's good. And now the reason I did this is because what we're going to have here is once everything is said and done, we're going to take these blocks out when we grind everything down, and we're going to replace this with another drill. So we'll have the drill there. It all pipes back in. And let me see here. If I take that out now, that's going to break everything. So what we'll do is we'll end up with another, because the drills, let me show you. Let me back up my explanation here for a second. So the drills, if you notice, have conveyor connections on all sides, right? On the, at least on the cube. All right, just making sure that wasn't a Argentivus. Of course, that would be kind of interesting to see if they brought one into the atmosphere. Anyway, so yeah, basically what will happen is when we put the drill in, it'll pipe O2 into the cockpit for us. And so the rest of this, like I said, I don't want it to go too large. I'm thinking probably one large cargo. And then obviously thrusters. Okay. There. Then take that off. That goes there. Okay, so we need to weld you up first. What do we need? Construction, small seal tubes, and everything else, right? Alright, so we need a bunch of you, bunch of you, bunch of you, and a whole lot of you. Let's go ahead and drop off 293 of those. There we go. And since we're doing this without any of our normal mods, like Bob, being installed, we do need to build these things in stages. or you have to have it set up when you're building that allows you to have room to come back and finish welding all this stuff up. That. So we just need small steel tubes right now. Give me... I should have a bunch left. I do. Look at you. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do the drill this way. Because it means it's less interior spaces to weld. But that also means that it's, you know, more difficult to repair. So if we end up with things in the middle of the build that get damaged, it becomes much harder to repair those things later on down the road. Alright, so for that much mass, I'm going to need a lot of lift to get this out of the atmosphere. Okay, so what I'm thinking is let's go... Let's do a large cargo block. And we want... I'm going to use some of the hydrogen engines, and I'm thinking for these what we're going to do. Now the idea is that this thing's going to basically just mine straight through things. So we're going to set it up with that in mind. 1, 2... Now, we're not really going to need a whole lot of stuff for these. Like a whole lot of power production. But I thought it might be kind of fun. You're piped in. Let's spin you guys around here. That way we have a bunch of connectors facing aft. This thing's gonna just completely eat ice. Alright. So that gives us some power generation. That gives us that. Alright. And
energy critical.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to do another set of cargo back here. Where we're really going to run into the problems are so that's only going to clear one. So we need thrusters. What we'll do is we're going to put cowling on this so that the thrusters aren't just hanging out there waiting to be knocked off. Okay. Oh, that would be hilarious if I did that. Thinking... I guess I could... do something like that. I need to throw some batteries in here too. Oh, just realized I'm out of power.
No energy.
Oh. Alright, so we're gonna need to throw some batteries in there. because we want to be able to not be running the hydrogen power the entire time. Oh, I should put a hydrogen tank on it. Maybe we'll take the thrusters off, put a hydrogen tank behind the engines. Need no 2 generator too. Alright. Okay, so... Trying to decide if I even want to go with this design at this point. I mean, it's definitely functional. But if that's the most we can say about it, I'm not sure I want to use it. Let's see here. If instead of using the large, if we used a bunch of small cargo containers. Those, because each one of these holds, I think, 156K in the current settings. Small cargo, 156K. So not quite 400K ore. No, obviously it's going to depend on the ore type. So if I used a bunch of these, I could recess the... Oh, here. Okay, I do actually like the way that this is shaping up. It's the rest of it that I need to figure out here. Because what I want to do is I want nothing to extend past this block set. So I want all my thrusters and everything to be recessed. So if we go 1, 2, 3, see, my concern always becomes, do we have enough thrust to keep it moving? Because eventually this thing has to come back in. Oh, you know what we could do? Oh. We could do that. So what I'm thinking is have a cargo pod. Basically, we build the ship, and then we have an attach point where a cargo pod can be dropped back into atmosphere. So the ship, once it's out of atmosphere, never has to actually land. We just take whatever we're using for fuel up with us. Oh, yeah, that could actually work. And then what we do here is we say, because we've already said we don't really need much in the way of power. These really are just to keep the system running in the case we need to do something. All right, let me go 02. So let's run. Let's run something like that. Yeah. So if we run something like that, we then do hydrogen tank. Military escort, not worried about you. Okay. And then if we do something like this, maybe. Alright, so we do that. Couple of gyros behind it. That gives us a little bit more area to play with if we need to, because we're going to do 3 more here. So we can actually add more lift as well. Now, the most important aspect of this, because we're going to have more up here. That might be a bit overkill. Just a bit. Alright, so we'll have thrusters this way. We need braking thrusters. And if we're going to do braking thrusters, we can do this. Not sure how well this is going to work. My major concern is with these guys in the corner. So I'm hoping that these will give us enough room to deal with everything that we need to deal with. Alright. Guess we'll find out. Do we want to do a large thruster? So in theory, that should be what we need. And we need to throw a landing gear or a connector on this thing since we didn't do the cargo pod. I'm thinking we'll go ahead and do the connector right there. You're gonna be one. So if we do connector there, are you gonna be able to? Yeah, should be able to hang over there and just hang out for it. Okay. All right. So I think that's a design we're gonna go with. The question is how fast are we going to be burning through fuel? Alright. So I think what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and weld all of this up off camera because it's basically going to be me just schlepping parts back and forth. Once we have it all done, looking at the time, I think this is probably going to do it for us today, actually. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to call this one here. I want to thank you for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, want to see more, or just want to do something nice for me, be sure to not only share the video but subscribe as well. And if you really want to be kept up to date with what's going on around here, don't forget to ring the little bell next to the subscribe button. YouTube keeps saying that yes, that will send you notifications. My expectation is sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. We're going to get this thing welded up. When we come back next time, you'll get to see this thing welded up. I'm not quite sure if we have enough lift for this thing, but we will find out next time. Anyway, hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you back here next time for more Space Engineers and probably this thing exploding. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody.